Mangwana ni Malelepo Vukenjani Klekwas Vanave Africa. Welcome to Africa Good Morning, the news and current affairs show, bringing you everything you need to know happening on the African continent and beyond. You are joined by Ashwin Berry on Friday, the 30th of August. Some of the top stories we're looking at today: Nigeria becomes first African country to obtain Mpox vaccines, and ACC in Eswatini gets arrest warrants for 8 Home Affairs officials. We'll also be talking to Mike Sichula as he brings us the latest news stories from Zambia. DSTV 2 at 5, Code TV 25, 1up2.com is precisely where you can find us. Top stories shortly.
Entries are now open for the second round of Republicane's Bridal Couple of the Year competition. Couples married between 1 June and 31 August have until 30 September of this year to enter the second round of the competition. Another one of the top 10 couples will be chosen from this pool to participate in the final, taking place in May 2025. To better your chance of reaching the final, enter now. To enter, simply WhatsApp #Bridal2025 to 085 785 6231 and follow the on-screen instructions or scan this QR code.
Let's get into the top stories on Africa Good Morning. Nigeria has become the first African country to obtain Mpox vaccines. It received 10,000 doses of vaccine from the United States of America. Nigerian authorities have reportedly prioritized 5 states with the highest burden of Mpox cases. Mpox cases have been confirmed in more than 10 of Nigeria's 36 states. The ceremonial signing in Abuja came 1 week after the World Health Organization declared a global health emergency. The United States government has donated the Jynneos vaccine to Nigeria. Getting an Mpox vaccine can help prevent infection. It is recommended for people at high risk of getting Mpox. The Democratic Republic of Congo is the epicenter of the global outbreak. The U.S. has pledged to donate to the country 50,000 doses. The U.S. envoy to Nigeria explained why Nigeria received the first delivery. Nigeria government has put together a vaccination plan, so there's a plan on how to use these vaccines effectively and how to make sure we get the most effect out of this 10,000 vaccine donation. So that's very much why Nigeria was chosen to receive this first batch. We will continue to work with Nigeria on efforts to stop the spread of monkeypox illness. According to the WHO, most people with Mpox will recover within 2 to 4 weeks. The goal of treating Mpox is to take care of the rash, manage pain, and prevent complications. Moving on, 4 national airports will soon benefit from the rehabilitation and modernization works to meet the demands of the airport market, according to the financial administrator of the company Aeroportos de Mozambique, Saide Junior. One of the 4 is in Hambane Airport. The works, which are starting in October, will also involve the construction of a new passenger terminal, increasing the capacity from the current 30,000 to 160,000 passengers per year. Another national airport will benefit from investment also starting in October and ending in September 2025, which is Beira Airport, increasing its capacity to 450,000, actually to 700,000 a year. And the aim is to increase the passenger and cargo handling capacity. Pemba Airport rehabilitation will be divided into 2 phases, the first of which will begin in the first quarter of next year. In the first phase, work will consist of expanding the passenger terminal, the airport apron, and opening another runway. The second phase in Pemba will involve lengthening the runway from the current 1.8 to 2.4 meters, 2,400 meters. Now, this is also to accommodate projects in Cabo Delgado. Now, the amounts to be invested through the public-private partnership employed were not disclosed. The administrator of Aeroportos de Mozambique underscored that the modernization of cargo terminals in some provinces aims to adapt the infrastructures to the current market dynamics and improve competitiveness. Saide Jr. was speaking as part of ADM's participation in the 59th edition of the Maputo International Fair, where Airports of Mozambique is promoting airport infrastructures, investment opportunities, services, and seeking contacts to establish partnerships. Now, moving on, the arrest warrants, as well as those of search and seizure against the employees of Home Affairs in Eswatini, were issued by the CJ yesterday after the Anti-Corruption Commission moved an urgent application. The warrants were issued in terms of the Prevention of Corruption Act 2008. In the warrants, the ACC officers were authorized to search the homesteads of implicated employees and further confiscate any material they believed to have been used in the commission of fraudulent activities. The other warrant was authorized in the ACC officers to arrest the employees. 5 of the implicated employees are female and they hold senior positions. The 8 employees are suspected to have been part of a syndicate dealing in the sale of refugee status and passports to foreign nationals. It was revealed that the syndicate charged between 30 and 50,000 rands for fresh and legal documents for any undocumented citizen who wanted to be treated as an official refugee in the Kingdom of Eswatini. The internal investigation saw over 100 immigration officers being transferred last year. Also, the theft of security documents such as passports and travel documents, as revealed in the Ministry of Economic Planning and Development this year annual performance report, was so rife that the government intended to install a 3.9 million rand security surveillance system in the Immigration Office in the Ministry of Home Affairs at the time. Now, the Immigration Office was faced with the challenge of the disappearance and theft of security documents such as passports as well as travel documents. Now, in a landmark decision, the Supreme Court cited insufficient proof and prosecution's reliance on circumstantial evidence that failed to meet the legal standard of beyond a reasonable doubt as reasons for its decision to acquit former Chief Justice Gloria Musu-Scott. Now, the former Chief Justice and some members of her family were found guilty last year by a lower court of murdering 29-year-old Charlo Musu, who was discovered fatally stabbed at the former official's residence. The guilty verdict returned by the jury was against the weight of the evidence and is set aside. The final ruling of the trial court confirming the verdict of the jury is hereby reversed, current Chief Justice C. Anyenye Yuo said while announcing the ruling. That was in Liberia. Now, 4 Nigerian nationals have been sentenced to prison in the UK after being convicted of forging over 2,000 marriage certificates to aid illegal immigration. The individuals identified as Abraham Alade Olarotumi Onifade, Abayomi Aderisonye Shodipo, Nosimot Mojisola Gabadamosi, and Adenkule Kabir were sentenced at Woolwich Crown Court. This was in London. Now, the UK Home Office revealed that the group was part of an organized crime network that over more than 2 years, from March 2019 to May 2023, facilitated fraudulent applications for the EU settlement scheme. They targeted Nigerian nationals, providing false Nigerian customary marriage certificates and other counterfeit documents to help individuals unlawfully stay in the UK. Onifade from Gravesend in Kent and Shodibo from Manchester were each convicted of conspiracy to facilitate illegal entry into the UK and conspiracy to provide fraudulent documents. Onifade received a 6-year prison sentence, while Shodipo was sentenced to 5 years. Gabdamosi, hailing from Bolton, was found guilty of deception and fraud by false representation and sentenced to 6 years. Kabir from London received a 9-month sentence after being convicted of possessing an identity document with improper intent. He was acquitted of charges related to obtaining leave to remain by deception. Those have been our top stories on Africa Good Morning. After the break, we talk to Mike Sichula in Zambia.
Welcome to Namibia, where adventure meets tranquility. With Enjoy, you have access to a wide range of accommodations to suit every traveler's taste and budget. Experience the finest dining and hospitality Namibia has to offer. Booking your dream accommodation is just a few clicks away with Enjoy. Join thousands of happy travelers who have trusted Enjoy for their Namibian getaway. Your gateway to unforgettable Namibian adventures. Visit us today at enjoy.my.na.
All right, it's time for us to talk to Mike Sichula in Zambia. Mike Udwanji.
Nili bueno Muribwanji, Africa, good morning to our dear viewers.
Africa, good morning indeed. Let's get straight into your stories, Mike. Authorities have shut down a high-rising business facility in the CBD, and they have some fears surrounding this.
Yes, the Society Business Park is a 20-story multi-purpose facility, which is a major business center in the district of Lusaka. So within the building is the Hilton Gardens Hotel, which features 130 rooms. Then also what makes the building remarkable is that it was damaged by fire in the 1990s before a redevelopment by NAPSA brought it back to life in 2017. So the building redesign was carried out by South African architect Robert Sick. Then the building also has added beauty to the city of Lusaka. So authorities this week did hold a media briefing saying that the facility has got a problem in terms of structure stability, and they fear that part of the building may collapse. So they gave the tenants that are scattered through the building in many different shops 10 days in which to vacate the facility, because they want to see to it that nobody is hurt in the event that the building collapsed. So what has been happening since then is that the government, as the Minister of Infrastructure and Development, has said that they are having consultations to either establish whether the building should be demolished, or they must have just to rehabilitate it so that it can be brought back to business as usual. So what a number of people have been commenting, asking government to be sincere, because the other part of the building is not affected, but also some columns that are holding the car park is one of those that seems to be having problems in terms of structural stability. Why did they close the other part, which is okay, instead of just concentrating on one which has got a problem?
Well, you know, better safe than sorry, they always say. Now, the government is replacing machines at its first cancer disease hospital. Is there a reason behind this?
Yes, the cancer disease hospital is the first cancer diseases hospital in Zambia. So the equipment that was first installed when the cancer disease hospital was commissioned has since become outdated. So in the absence of quality machinery, Zambia has had to take some of the critical cancer patients to India. Others, the government has also entered a memorandum of understanding with the government of Tanzania. So close to 200 patients have so far been evacuated to either India or Tanzania to receive specialized cancer treatment. So as the government has been doing this, they have also started on replacing the hospital machines that have been placed at the hospital since 2018. So according to Ministry of Health Permanent Secretary in charge of technical services, Kennedy Lishimpi, he says some of the machines being replaced at the hospital have been 40 since 2018. Then the Dr. Lishimpi said that the first phase of the equipment is expected to be under utilization by next year. So meaning during this period, cancer patients in Zambia will have to undergo treatment outside. And also those cancer patients that used to come to Zambia for medical tourism will not be received because the facility is undergoing rehabilitation.
All right, Mike. We'll certainly be keeping an eye on that situation, but it's definitely a good move in the good direction to have those machines replaced. Now, a grade 10 pupil who developed sunscreen lotion for persons living with albinism has received support.
Yes. So this has been moved by lack of local production of sunscreen, which is a lotion that people with albinism use to protect their skin. So Mwape Chipampe, a grade 10 QQ at Naboye's secondary school, has developed her own organic sunscreen. Mwape showcased her organic sunscreen made out of a combination of vegetables, fruits, spices, and aloe vera, among other ingredients, during the National Jets Fair that ran from 12th to 16th August in Lusaka. So the patents and company's registration selected 15 innovations for patenting and awarded 2,000 kwacha to each of the innovators. So Mwape was one of those innovators whose innovation has been patented and also has received support from the patents and company's registration agency. They're hoping that this sunscreen that has been organically developed will likely contribute to the reduction of the cost of sunscreen, because most of people that are living of albinism have in the recent past complained of the high cost of sunscreen lotion, which they use to protect themselves from sun rays.
All right, Mike, we always love to see when such, positive initiatives do get support. Now, in sports, Fashion Sakala has again been left out of the Chipolopolo boys squad to face Ivory Coast and Sierra Leone next month.
Yes, Fashion Sakala earlier this year accused Israeli coach Avram Grant of biased national team selection. He claimed that the coach has a soft spot for certain players whom Fashion Sakala does not believe can feature for the Chipolopolo boys, something which the coach refuted. Because of this, the FA called for investigations on the matter, but to date, no official outcome has come out from the investigations that were caught. So this simply means, because Fashion has been omitted from the latest 27-man squad, it simply means either the committee that was sanctioned to investigate may have found Fashion Sakala guilty, or the committee have not concluded their investigations. Hence, they see no need to have Fashion Sakala included in the team because investigations are ongoing. But the FA has not said anything. So the Chipolopolo boys have only managed one win in their last 11 games, a record which Avram Grant will be eager to improve as they face African champions Ivory Coast and Sierra Leone next month. So it is a debate that has continued to attract divided reactions from soccer fans across the country, with others calling for the dismissal of Avram Grant, while others are saying Fashion Sakala needs to be is a professional who must be disciplined to observe code of ethics when he's called to the national team.
Understandable debates on either side. You know me well enough to know which side I'm on. I won't air it on Africa Good Morning, but thank you very much for bringing us the latest news stories from Zambia.
Thank you very much. Do have a lovely weekend. Africa Good Morning, our dear viewers.
Africa Good Morning from the one and only Mike Sichula. Let's have a look at the weather predictions. All right, let's get into our economic news story. Chinese lenders approved $4.61 billion in loans to Africa last year, marking the first annual rise since 2016, according to an independent study recently released. Between 2012 and 2018, Africa received over $10 billion annually from China, largely due to President Xi Jinping's Belt and Road Initiative. However, lending sharply declined with the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, Reuters reported. Now, the 2023 figure, more than triple the amount from the previous year, indicates China's focus on managing risks in economies with high debt, per Boston University's Global Development Policy Center. This new data comes as Beijing readies to host African leaders for the upcoming Forum on China-Africa Cooperation, held every 3 years. According to the study, 13 loan agreements were made last year, involving 8 African countries and 2 African multilateral lenders. Let's have a look at the economic indicators just before Ari brings us the sport.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, and starting off with tennis news first. That's the US Open continuing, mostly second round games that's completed at the moment, and it's number 2 seed Novak Djokovic, one of the favorites. He's through to the next round. He had a win against Lasle Jerry. The score there was 6-4, 6-4 and 2-0 in the end in the third set. That was a walkover in the end when Lasle Jerry had to withdraw. Casper Ruud, he's the number 8 seed and he also threw. He had a tough game against Gilles Monfils. He's from France and he won 6-4, 6-2, 2-6 and 7-6 in 4 sets, also to be through to the third round. Then Andrei Rublev, he played against Anthony Rindermark. He's from the Netherlands, and it was a tough game. He lost the first 2 sets by 4-6, 5-7. That is Andrei Rublev, but then came back to win the last 3, to win in 5 sets to be through to the next round. And then Alexander Zverev, the number 4 seed, is also through to the next round, beating Alex Mueller by 6-4, 7-6 and 6-1. Continuing with the US Open tennis, on the women's side of the draw, Emma Navarro of America, also one of the early favorites. She beat Nasra Rus of France 6-1, 6-1, quite a comfortable win. And then number 3 seed, the defending champion Coco Gauff of the United States, she beat Tatiana Muni of Germany 6-4, 6-love, and she's in good form through to the third round. And then lastly also Aryna Sabalenka. She's the winner of the Australian Open a few months ago, playing good tennis on hard courts. It is Aryna Sabalenka beating Louise Bronzetti of Italy by 6-3 and 6-1. On to soccer news, and it is still transfer news. It's going to end at the end of the month. Then it's going to be closed. There are no more transfers. The latest transfers are both with goalkeepers. It is Southampton that confirmed that the English goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale, he will play for them in future for Southampton. He's coming over from Arsenal, a deal worth $30 million. And then it is Bournemouth that confirmed that Kappa Arrizabala, he's also goalkeeper, that he is not going to be with Chelsea anymore, that he was previously also on loan to Real Madrid, but he will play now for
DSTV 285, Core TV 25, 1up2.com is precisely where you can find us. And thank you for staying with Africa Good Morning, not just today, but throughout the week. We'll be back next week bringing you the latest news stories from Africa and beyond. From me, Ashwin Berry and the Africa Good Morning team, Swereja Kanaka.